Planting and establishing trees is all about managing air and moisture in the soil. Manage these correctly and trees will grow quickly following planting. 3 of the most common causes of poor plant establishment or tree death are planting too deep, underwatering, and overwatering. If appropriate trees are planted at the right depth and they are irrigated properly, the planting has a good chance of success. 10 steps to planting trees. Step 1. Look up. If there is a wire, security light, or building nearby that could interfere with proper development of the tree canopy as it grows, plant elsewhere or plant a tree that has a small canopy or a narrow canopy at maturity. Step 2. Dig shallow and wide planting hole. To estimate the depth of the planting hole, measure the distance between the point where the topmost root emerges from the trunk and the bottom of the root ball. Then dig a hole slightly shallower than this distance. No more than about 2 or 3 inches of the root ball needs to be above the soil unless the site is poorly drained. Make the hole at least 1.5 times the diameter of the root ball. Wider holes should be used for compacted soil and wet sites. This helps roots from becoming deformed by the edge of the hole in compacted or clayey soils. This will hasten root growth, translating into quicker establishment. Step 3. Find the topmost root and treat defects. Choose a tree whose topmost root emerges from the trunk visibly, at or slightly above the surface. Not all root balls come from the nursery like that. In the highest quality root balls, the point where the topmost root emerges from the trunk should be within 2 inches of the surface. The topmost roots and root flare, if present, in poorer quality root balls are buried down inside the root ball. Trees whose topmost roots are too deep in their root balls have less of a root system than trees whose topmost roots emerge near the surface. If you cannot see the topmost root, remove excess soil to expose it before you plant the tree. Step 4. Carefully place tree in planting hole to avoid damage when setting the tree in the hole. Lift the tree with straps or rope around the root ball. Do not lift it by the trunk. Special strapping mechanisms need to be constructed to carefully lift trees out of large containers and to handle large B&B, balled and burlap, trees to prevent bark damage on the trunk and branches. Step 5. Position the topmost root 1 to 3 inches above the landscaped soil. Position the topmost root about even with or slightly above, about 2 inches above, the top of the landscaped soil in well-drained soil. Plant even higher in soil that drains poorly. Step 6. Straighten the tree in the hole. Before you begin backfilling, have someone view the tree from 2 directions perpendicular to each other to confirm the tree is straight. Fill in with some more backfill soil to secure the tree in the upright position. Once you add large amounts of backfill, it is difficult to reposition the tree. Step 7. Remove synthetic materials. String, rope, synthetic burlap, strapping, plastic, and other materials that will not decompose in the soil must be removed at planting. Synthetic burlap melts into plastic goo, while real burlap flames and turns to ash when lit. If burlap is synthetic, be sure to remove all of it with a pruner, knife or other sharp blade. Roots grow through artificial burlap with little difficulty, but as the roots attempt to expand in diameter, they become girdled or strangled. Artificial and synthetic burlap is not commonly used in the southeastern U.S. Step 8. Add backfill and firm the backfill soil. Slice a shovel down into the backfill 20 to 30 times all around the tree as you add backfill soil. Attempt to break up large soil clumps as much as possible. Do not pack the backfill, instead step firmly on the backfill soil to help stabilize the root ball. When the planting hole is filled with soil, the root ball should remain 1 inch small trees to 3 inches larger trees above the backfill soil. Step 9. Cover sides of the root ball with mulch. Provide a 3-inch deep layer of mulch around the tree. Mulches reduce soil temperature fluctuations, prevent packing and crusting, conserve moisture, help control weeds, add organic matter to the soil, and improve the appearance of the landscape. Step 10. Stake and prune if needed. Stake the tree if necessary to hold the root ball firmly in the soil. If the root ball moves in the wind, emerging roots could break and trees will establish slowly. Staking to hold a thin, weak trunk upright should not be necessary on trees with a trunk diameter more than about 1.5 inches. If large trees require staking to prevent the trunk from bending, it probably indicates a lesser quality tree. Thanks for listening.